Let's talk about the update from the Supreme Court. In fact, we've got NDTV's Sunil Prabhu joining in to tell us about what the top court said about the royalty issue. Sunil, what can you tell us?
Well, it's a historic day in the Supreme Court. A 9-judge bench, a constitutional bench, has given a verdict 8:1. 8 in favor of saying that royalty is not a tax. Led by the Chief Justice of India and 7 other judges, they have said that royalty is not a tax. This is a big victory for states, especially mineral resource states. A very categorical statement saying that the purview is within the states and the state legislature to levy this royalty or a tax in, and that the land comes under the state list. The state legislature has the power. What does this mean? This is a big loss for the center as well as for mining companies. They will have to pay that royalty that has been imposed by states. The big question, of course, is when will this be decided by the constitutional bench, which is going to once again hear this matter on whether it should be done prospectively or retrospectively, because this, as you know, has been pending for 9,000 days. Since 1999, this matter has been pending in the Supreme Court. There have been a number of judgments, and finally, today, there is a finality in terms of being the arbiter of justice. The Supreme Court, 8:1, have held that royalty is not a nature of tax, that it is within the power of the states to levy royalty. It is a contract between the lessor and the lessee, and that the mining land comes within the jurisdiction of the state. It's a state list. So this is a big decision which has far-reaching implications, even economic, for various states, especially those from the mineral resource rich states like Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and that list continues.
Right.
Having said that, there is a dissenting judgment of Justice Nagaratna, who has very categorically stated that one way or the other this will have a deleterious impact on the federal system. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. The Supreme Court on next Wednesday will decide on this important aspect of whether the tax that is now going to be levied on people, whether it will be done prospectively or retrospectively.
Yes, thank you so much, Sunil, for getting us those details and that perspective. On that note, let me introduce you to the experts, the guests that we have on this program today. We've got Sameer Dalal of Natwarlal and Sons Stockbrokers, and we've got in studio Kush Bora, founder of kushbora.com. Thank you so much, gentlemen, as always, for taking the time. Sameer, I'll come to you first on this latest judgment. Of course, we're still trying to understand the implications broadly, but on the face of it, seemingly, royalty payments by miners could go up. That seems to be a negative, of course, and the stock price reactions seem to be suggesting that. Is that something that concerns you at all?
Obviously, it does, right? So if royalty has to go up, that's a bigger cost to the producer of the metal, and that means they're eventually going to pass it on. So that can be a bit inflationary also in nature. So on both fronts, it's not good. One for the company because they have to hire costs, which means they have to pass it on. And if they are unable to pass it on, it means margins shrinking for them. And if they are able to pass it on because imports are a little, there's a difference between the import price and the local prices, then inflation is going to get affected. So either way, I mean, increasing royalty, it's great for the government because government is trying to collect tax in every given angle, but not necessarily for the end users or the economy or the company.
I call on any of these miners?
So I don't have a view per se. Let this judgment come out eventually, then you take a call. But at the moment, given the way China's situation is, I am actually a bit negative on the entire metals and mining space. So NMDC, Tata Steel, especially Tata Steel, Vedanta, who are fully backward integrated and who are doing the mining activities. So if commodity prices come up because of the China slowdown, these companies get affected the most because they benefit the most from the increased vertical integration and the profitability. But if either the royalty goes up or the prices come down, it's a negative for them. So I'd be wary a bit for a few of them.
Wait and watch. And of course, next Wednesday, as Sunil pointed out, is a day that you should watch out for and earmark as well.